Hello everyone. There's a quiet moment in life, often in the stillness of early morning or just before we drift off to sleep, when a small voice inside whispers something heavy. Maybe I'm just in the way now. Maybe they're better off without all this trouble I bring. If you've ever had thoughts like these, please know you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not a burden. This video is not here to dismiss your feelings, but to walk gently beside them, because growing older comes with changes, yes, sometimes challenges too, but it also brings with it a deep, quiet wisdom, a richness of love, and a presence that no one else can replace. Over the next few minutes, we'll talk about 5 things, 5 truths, really soft truths that we often forget, especially when we feel like we're slowly fading into the background. So, let's begin. Not with shame, not with guilt, but with a warm cup of truth, and maybe a little smile along the way. You are not a burden. Let's talk about why. Number 1, your presence still matters more than you realize. Perhaps no one says it out loud, but deep down, you sometimes wonder, what am I still doing here? You've watched the world change, seen your children grow up and take on lives of their own. The phone rings less often. The house feels quieter. And it's too easy to believe that you somehow become invisible. But let me tell you something gently, your presence still matters deeply. More than anyone may have the words or courage to say. You are a living archive of laughter and lessons. Your presence, simply sitting in a room, reminds the people around you where they came from. When you speak, even if your voice is soft, it carries decades of stories, of survival, of love that never asked for applause. You see, your value isn't in how much you do, it's in who you are. A quiet hand on the shoulder, a knowing smile, that one old recipe no one can ever quite replicate. That memory of a childhood moment only you remember. These are not small things, they're treasures. You are a lighthouse, steady and shining. Even when the sea around you gets stormy, we live in a world that celebrates speed, noise, and youth. But hearts don't run on speed. They run on connection, on meaning, on the soft comfort of simply knowing someone is there, and you are there. So if you ever feel like the world has moved on without you, remember this: you are still part of the story. Not just as a memory, but as a living, breathing presence. And that matters. Number 2, you have already given so much. It's okay to receive now. There's a quiet kind of pride that lives in people like you. You've spent your life giving your time, your strength, your laughter, your late nights. You've held hands when others were afraid. You've worked when you were tired. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. You have poured so much of yourself into others, into children, partners, neighbors, even strangers often, without asking for anything in return. And now that you need a little more help, a little more patience, a little more tenderness, something inside you hesitates. You don't want to be a bother. You say, I can manage. Even when it hurts, you apologize for forgetting, for slowing down, for simply needing someone. But here's the gentle truth. You have already given enough, more than enough. This season of your life is not about proving your independence. It's about allowing others to give back in small and quiet ways. Letting your granddaughter carry your shopping bag doesn't make you weak. Saying yes to a warm meal someone else cooked doesn't erase all the meals you once made with love. Accepting help does not take away your dignity. It reveals your trust. You taught others how to love through action. Now, let them return the lesson. Because when you allow someone to care for you, you're not being a burden. You're offering them a chance to grow in compassion, in patience, in grace. And isn't that what you've always done? So take the hand when it's offered. Sit and rest when your body asks you to. Smile when someone says, let me help you. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. And you've earned every bit of peace it brings. If this video brought a smile to your face or warmed your heart, don't forget to tap the like button. Number 3, The weight you carry is not a burden. It's the story of a life well lived. You may feel it sometimes, that heaviness in your steps, the slower rhythm of your days, the quiet aches that visit uninvited. You carry more than just years. In your bones, you carry memories, losses, lessons, moments that shaped you. And yes, it is a kind of weight, but it is not a burden. It is the story of a life well lived. You've known joy so big it made your heart feel like it might burst, and sorrow so sharp it carved you into someone deeper, wiser. You've made choices, some that turned out beautifully, others that still linger with a quiet ache. But you chose. You lived, fully, imperfectly, bravely. Every wrinkle, every scar, every pause between breaths is a chapter of that story. It says, I've been through things, and I'm still here. We live in a world obsessed with youth and newness, as if freshness is the only thing worth admiring. But you, dear one, are seasoned, polished by time, weathered not by wear, but by experience. Your family might not always understand the full weight you carry, because much of it is invisible. Regret that you don't speak of, dreams you once put aside for others, grief you swallowed with a smile. But that doesn't make your weight less sacred. It makes it more. When others look at you and only see what you can't do anymore, remind yourself of what you have done, the lives you've touched, the storms you've stood through, the quiet strength you never demanded applause. For you are not a burden. You are a tapestry woven with threads of love, loss, laughter, and resilience. And that kind of beauty cannot be rushed. It must be earned, and you, my dear, have earned every thread. Number 4. Your family's love may look different now, but it's still there. There was a time when love was loud. Little footsteps running through the house, arms flung around your waist, tiny voices calling your name just to be near you. Love. Back then looked like sticky drawings on the fridge, surprise kisses, and too many shoes by the door. It was chaos, but it was yours. Now, the house is quieter. The greetings are more polite. The visits more scheduled. The conversation shorter. And somewhere in the hush, a whisper creeps in. Maybe they don't need me anymore. Maybe they're only here out of duty. But love doesn't always stay the same shape. Children grow, schedules tighten. Life rushes forward like a river. But underneath the surface, the current of love still runs strong. It may no longer be painted in crayon or shouted from across the room. It might show up as a text that says, "Did you take your medicine today?" Or a quiet hug that lingers just a second longer than needed. Or even just the way they glance at you when you're not looking. Sometimes we expect love to feel like it once did, familiar, predictable. But it evolves just as you have. Now love might look like helping with paperwork, or checking the thermostat, or driving across town just to change a light bulb. You didn't ask to be changed. And yes, it can be clumsy. People don't always know how to express love when the roles have shifted, when the one who used to give all the care now needs it. But their awkwardness doesn't mean absence. It just means they're learning, just like you did. So even if their words don't always come out right, and even if their visits aren't as frequent as you wish, please know this. You are still loved, deeply, quietly, imperfectly. And that love, however it arrives, is real. Number 5. You still belong. Deeply. Truly. Always. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't the ache in the joints, or the forgetting of names, or even the quiet that fills the house at dusk. Sometimes it's the feeling deep in your chest that you no longer have a place. When life slows down, when routines change, when roles shift from giver to receiver, it can feel like the world has quietly moved you to the edges, like a photograph in a dusty frame. But please hear this clearly and gently. You still belong, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You belong at the table, even if you're no longer the one setting the plates. You belong in the stories, not just as the teller of the past, but as a living part of the present. You see, belonging isn't earned through usefulness. It's held through love. And your place in the hearts of those who care about you, whether they say it well or stumble through it, is still solid, still sacred. The family you helped shape, the ones whose hands you once held, whose tears you once wiped, still carry your influence in everything they do, in their kindness, in their humor, in their strength. You are in the fabric of their days, whether they realize it or not, even when the world feels fast and foreign, even when the silence is heavy, even when you feel unsure of your worth. You are not forgotten. You are not pushed aside. You are not a burden. You are part of something bigger than yourself, a web of memory, love, and meaning. And in that, your place is permanent. So rest your heart, dear one. You are seen. You are valued. You still belong, deeply, always. And so, dear viewer, if no one has told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. You are not in the way. You are the way so many have found love, safety, and strength. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. This life you've lived, this journey, it matters. You still matter. Please don't shrink yourself to make space for others. There is room for you. Always at the table, in the story, in the hearts of those who love you. Now, if this message touched your heart or reminded you of someone you care about, I invite you to do something simple but powerful. Please like this video, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts or your own story. And share it with someone who may need these gentle words today. And if you'd like to walk alongside us in more conversations like this, filled with warmth, care, and reflection for our beloved elders, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for your years, your love, your presence. You are not alone, and you never will be. Until next time, take care of your heart and let others take care of it too.